When do we make crucial decisions that affect the rest of our lives? I remember when I was 10 or 11, CBC built a new broadcast center on Portage Avenue in Winnipeg, and as part of a school tour, we were taken to visit the place, and I found myself in a radio studio, and I remember looking at the glass separating the studio from the control room, and looking at the tiled acoustic ceilings, and looking at the microphone and the carpets. And I thought almost subconsciously, oh yeah, this is nice. I could work here. I like this environment. Then, 20, 30 years later, when I lived in rooms like that, radio, television, film, sound stages, and so on, I've always felt completely at home. I could walk into a broadcast studio or soundstage right now, and I feel completely at home. Didn't know that when I was 10 or 11. When I was about 14, I started to notice that I was somewhat obsessed with language and words. Of course, I was a literature freak, but then I said to myself, and I only recognized this when I was about 60, I said to myself, when I grow up, I want to speak the way books are written. I want to speak in a beautiful, creative language. And so, of course, that's what I ended up doing. I mean, of course, I ended up working in radio, television, and movies, and so on, and on stage. And even in the first 10 years of my serious working life, when I created and ran a treatment center, people would say, well, what do you get out of that work? I'd say, well, it's exciting to watch people reclaim their power and become full-fledged citizens again. But also, I feel like I'm a stand-up poet. I feel like I'm being creative on my feet. So, of course, we all make major life-changing, path-changing decisions, marriage, careers, jobs, hobbies, travel, studies, for sure. But I'm convinced that if we think hard about it, we've had little glimpses and hints of these changes, these forks in the road, long before we actually get to them. If only we could see, hear, and remember them. Pickle. We are always fine-tuning the flight plan. I think it helps to notice.